Hey everybody, happy Monday. I wanted to talk to you guys today about 9 ways that you can manage your stress because we are talking about self-care for the month of July, and managing our stress is a huge component of that. No matter what we're doing or where we are in life, what our situation is, we all have stress that we're managing, right? Maybe it's from your family situation or your health or your finances or your living situation or trying to run your own business or any other number of things. Even a lot of summer things can be kind of stressful, right? If you have a vacation coming up or some other sort of trip or even just a lot of plans in a day or in a weekend, trying to navigate all of that, trying to juggle all of it can feel really stressful. So I want to help you guys out. I want to share some simple stress management techniques that really help me manage my own stress. One of the first things is just to recognize and name your stress, because along with any other kind of problem, if we ignore it and try to, stuff it in a corner or brush it under the rug, it's not going to go away. It's just going to stay there, bugging us, getting under our skin, driving us crazy. The only way to handle it is to name it, to face it, to call it out as stress, and then be willing to handle it. But first, we have to recognize that it's there. And then, number 2, I really think that breathing is just a huge answer, a huge solution here. If we can just take a moment to breathe, to inhale, to exhale when we're facing a problem, it just really helps us pause and gain better perspective. It helps us respond in a healthier way. Instead of having a knee-jerk reaction to something, we can actually think about how we want to respond. So that is one of the things that I really try to do. If someone says something that bothers me, or if I'm facing a problem that is just really making me frustrated, I try to sit back for just a second and breathe and think about how I actually want to respond, and think about the problem at hand and whether it's actually as big of a deal as I'm making it out to be, because it's usually not. So deep breathing is number 2, and then number 3 is sleep. Now, if you're like me, you probably can't just take a nap in the middle of a problem, but getting enough sleep can help us manage our stress better because we're not as fatigued, we're not as exhausted, we're probably not as short with people. Hi, Allison. If we get enough sleep, we're able to react to situations better. We're able to show up the way that we want. We're able to go with the flow better and handle problems better and problem solve better. So getting enough sleep is critical. And then number 4 is exercise, some sort of movement. It doesn't have to be super formal, it doesn't even have to be intense, but just getting your body moving, using those muscles really gives your brain a break from stress, and it really just helps you work out all of that built up stress inside. Number 5 is getting outside, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's working in your garden, maybe it's going for a walk, maybe it's sitting out by the lake. Really anything. You can even just take your work outside or eat your dinner outside. It doesn't have to be complicated, but there's just something special about getting outside in the fresh air and the sunshine that's just rejuvenating and restful for our souls. And that just completely eradicates stress, even just for 5 minutes. You might forget about whatever it is that you're trying to answer, whatever problem you're trying to handle. It just gives us a much needed break and reminds us that there's a whole world out there outside of our lives and our problems. It gives us amazing perspective. Number 6 is to talk it out. I love talking to other people when I'm going through stressful situations. People who can just be a listening ear, people who can actually help, people who've been there. It's really, really helpful to just be able to get someone else's perspective, to share what's going on, and to talk out loud, to explain the problem, to hear yourself talk about it can be really beneficial. You might find an answer that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. Someone else might be able to provide their own experiences and their own advice. It can just be really helpful to work through your problems by talking about them. And then the next one is to journal. Maybe you can't talk to someone, or maybe that's not really how you're wired, but you could write it out. Hi, Mom. I really love journaling about things good and bad because it helps me process them. It forces me to slow down enough because otherwise my brain's going faster than my hand, right? So it forces me to slow down, to think things through in a logical manner, to actually focus on what's stressing me out or what's bringing me joy and why. And it really just gives me an opportunity to be honest with how I'm feeling because no one else is going to read it. So you can write down really how you're feeling about things, good or bad, without being concerned about what other people might think. And it just is an amazing outlet for that kind of feeling, that kind of venting, and that kind of processing. And that can really help you manage your stress as well. And then similar to that, one of the ways that I really love processing my stress is through prayer. So I go to God and I talk to Him instead of just writing in my journal, or I write in my journal and direct it toward Him, explaining what I'm going through and what's stressing me out and asking for help and peace. And just the act of that prayer releases stress because I know the burden of that frustration is no longer on my shoulders. And it's just such an amazing relief. And then the last suggestion I have is to use affirmations. I have a little note that I remind myself with every morning of things that are true because it's so easy to fall into lies that our culture feeds us or that our internal voices feed us about who we should be or where our value lies or the reality of our situation. But if we remind ourselves of what is true, of where our value comes from, of the fact that we are amazing people and we are doing our very best, and that good things are happening and that God is in control and that we are not, and that life is still good, those things can really just give us perspective and help us remember what's true and what's important. I know it makes a big difference for me to start my day out with reminding myself of those kinds of things. And I think it could really help you guys too. So those are my tips for easy stress management: to talk to other people, to name your stress, to take a deep breath, to get some sleep, to exercise, to get outside, to journal, to pray, and to use affirmations. Whatever that looks like for you, it's really just taking a break from your stress, naming it, discussing it, putting words to it, whether it's with someone else or in prayer or journaling, just really digging deep and figuring out why you're stressed and then trying to find a way to let it go so that you can get on with your life and really enjoy it. All right, I hope you guys find that helpful. You can comment below with any questions. And if you're looking for more inspiration to live a life of less stress and more joy, I invite you to join the Joy and Full Living community. I've put the link in the description. And if you would like to chat some more about stress management or self-care or any other goals that you have for your life or your business, I would love to chat with you. You can comment below or send me a DM. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.